Okay, I'm ready, set, go. This is Cook the Books. Alright, Cook the Books. Might be Cook the Books 1. Let's try it there. The reason I'm going to do some Cook the Books is that I've actually got some ways to actually help your budget. And with the economical times actually changing, us in Australia are just doing that voluntarily, self-isolation at the moment, but that will come. So what I've actually done is I want to tell you about celery. Now this was one piece, and I won't tell you how much it actually was, but I can actually see vegetables in the future actually getting quite expensive. So it's about knowing what to do with every part. So I split it in half because I actually wanted to put it into my fridge. I didn't have the space, so I had to do it sideways. So I cut it in half. I've used already a whole heap of leaves. I've already used that, and I've already used some of that, and I'll tell you why in a second. What I normally do when I actually get my celery is I do this. Very lucky. Oops, daisy. Get that. Don't waste the celery. Okay. A lot of people like celery. A lot of people don't like celery. But what I normally do is I'll get my bunch, get my stick, and I'll cut it in half. Because what will happen with it is this top half is the flavour's more intense, ideal for soups, casseroles. You can use it, more soups and casseroles. That's pretty much what all of this top green stuff is all about. And as you can see, in the celery, you can actually see how it's got the different variegates, variegates. Okay, so you've got the outer. Now your outers are usually what is actually quite thready, and that of which at times you need to sort of peel that thread out. You've got your inner pieces, which have just got average density for intense flavour, and this middle section is really tender. So this is what I will use sometimes if I want to put into soup, and I definitely want vegetables in my soup. Celery is really good. This section here is really good to actually make into a side dish as a vegetable because it is so tender. So the other thing you can do if you actually want to make your celery as a vegetable, like a side, like you do peas or anything else, don't use your outside ones. Your outside ones you'll find quite thick, and that, yes, they've got the flavour, definitely got lots of flavour, and don't throw them away. But they will be like really, really chewy. Whereas this middle section is not chewy at all. It's really, really tender. It melts in your mouth. Really nice if you actually just steam it, put a little bit of butter, a little bit of garlic, a bit of herbs. Works out really well. The other thing about your celery is that a lot of people get to I'll cut it in a bit. They get to that section, and then they go, oh, that's the end of my celery. It's not the end of your celery, okay? Don't throw it away, God's sake. And take, as you can see, you've got the woody piece. See that wood bit? That's your woody bit. And that, I normally cut it across, and so I just cut off a bit of that end, and that's the only thing I throw away. That is the last of it. From this point here, split it. And split it right down. Because as you can see, it's in this section here that is outer ones of dirt. That's where all the dirt is. So, break it down. Break all of it down. I've got now a bit of wood. I'm going to cut that down. And this is really quite nice. This will just break away really, really nicely. So what I do with this now is I'll wash it. I'll give it a good scrub, and I'll get all of that dirt out of it. I'm not throwing it away. So there it is. Not throwing it away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bag. Got a bag, and I'm now putting it. Going to freeze it. This now becomes my soup base. Now this, as a general rule, because I'm going to put all of that bottom in it, bottom section, and because when I'm going to get to this celery, the one that I've got that's sort of shut down, I'll just top it up, and I might end up with like 3 bags of these in the freezer. But if I want to make soup, there it goes. If I want to make bolognese and I just don't have any celery, because I always put celery in my bolognese as my base, or my casseroles, this is what will go in. This eventually can end up being a couple meals worth of adding for flavour, because you just want flavour. So you don't throw it away. You just get how many pieces you want, chuck it into your soup. I mainly use it for soups and casseroles, and then I will fish out the bits that are tougher, and that, because as I said, these outer leaves, they're the ones that have all of the, they're the ones that tend to have they're more like, they're veiny and that, but they're full of flavour. Do not throw away. In this day and age, don't. Save it, bung it in your fridge, and it becomes actually a separate meal again. So that's Cook the Books. We're going to have a whole series on Cook the Books, but we're starting with celery. Thank you. Gaga's Kitchen.